class, Professor Watson. This discussion is going to be on accessibilities in the communities and the inspector side on some things we can look for, things we can help prevent from these communities being built that can cause problems for access of firefighting. Start out with, I work in the Zephyr Hills area, and there is one community in particular that we have had issues with. There's many communities that I can think of that have issues, but this particular one has numerous things wrong with it, which, as an inspector, things I would definitely be aware of now that I'd be looking for. Start out with, name of the community is Timber Oaks, and as you're driving from the main road, turn into this community, it has an entrance and exit right there at the same spot off the main road, and it's got curbs on both sides of entrance and exit. Very narrow entrance, medium in between with a guardhouse. Security is right there at the gate entrance. So once you turn into this community, you can't go into it right away. You have to press a code to get in. It's not siren activated. Physically, you have to press a code, so you have to get out of your vehicle because it's too low for just rolling your window down. So that's an issue. And then once you hit the code, it's got a swinging arm. It's not a gate. So for the swinging arm, it only lets one vehicle through at a time. So every single vehicle, if you got a convoy of trucks going in for a structure fire, they're going to all have to press that code to get in. Otherwise, they're going to knock the swinging arm off or damage one of the vehicles from a swinging arm. So big problem. Another issue is, even though it is manned, it's only manned 12 hours. The history I've seen with structure fires, it seems like the majority of them happen at nighttime. This complex is manned from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. So you do the math here. If there's a fire at night, then they're not going to be able to help out. They're not going to be able to hold a button open so that you can, just keep going through. So that's a big problem that we have. Once you get into this community, the roadways are very narrow. For two apparatuses to be next to each other, it's cutting close. It's very close, with the mailboxes being close to the roadway and then having two trucks next to each other. You'd be really risking it going down the streets here. Aside from the streets being narrow, there's many dead-end streets in this community. So there'd be a couple main streets with these dead-end, just straight streets that go down maybe 100 yards with mobile homes on each side. Once you get an apparatus backed up into one of these dead-end little streets, there's no backing that truck back out. If there's an issue, you'd have to back out the whole convoy of trucks to get back out of there. And then once you consider laying lines on the ground, it's just a nightmare. If we ever had a fire back in this area, this would be a disaster for accessibility. Once lines are on the ground, there'd be no getting in and out of that area. So if there was an issue with, say, one of the hydrants, which even the hydrants are an issue back here, they're set up pretty high in the yard, so you can't use your pony section. You actually use a 50-foot section of hose to get from truck to where the hydrants are sitting. So it's just a pain all the way around. Let's see, dead end streaks. Okay. Oh, last for this community, they have a second entrance, but this entrance is always locked. There's a big swinging gate that has padlock and chain on it. The gate guards aren't even allowed to open this gate. The only person that has access to it is the owner / manager of the complex. So we've talked to him about it and getting a separate set of keys, and that's a big no on his part. So it's just, this complex altogether has been a nightmare. As an inspector, these are things I would look for in a community to make sure that these problems aren't going to occur. As from a firefighting side, if I was an inspector trying to help out my brothers, my firefighters, the guys that are going to be in there, I'm going to be trying to protect these, the firefighters, because that's my job, is to keep everyone safe, make sure everything is up to code. These things are just all issues. I've had issues in other communities too, with overhangs being too low. I used to ride on a ladder truck. I don't have a ladder truck now where I'm at, but the ladder truck couldn't get through the entrance to this one community, and we'd have to call for other engines to make entrance, say, to for medical calls and whatnot. So that was just a big problem we had. A lot of accessibility issues in Pasco. So that's my post. I'm gonna keep it short at that, and look for the other ones.